Before Netflix, we used to be able to ride along in the front seat of a police car in a popular documentary-style TV series called Cops, which is still on the air in its 33rd season. The best part would be the dash cam footage from the police cars in hot pursuit of a suspect. Nowadays, these ride-along security cams have captured so much more and ended up all over our social media. But ever so often, these cameras record the unexpected, the unexplainable, and the unimaginable. Sometimes we see too much. Other times we see too little. Still, Dashcam captures what no one was supposed to see, Part 2. Creepy businessman. This video was circulating all over the net. In it, you can see the dashcam footage capturing a car's long dark ride down a country road, and with only its headlights to illuminate the night. Then suddenly, we see people dressed in suits, carrying briefcases and a black stick. When these people are in front of their vehicle, they start running. Among the shrubs appear more people who move strangely and look up at the horizon, where they can see someone holding a flare in the middle of the darkness behind them. The last thing you can see before the video is cut is a person with a red mask and antlers, like a demon, entering from the opposite side of the road. Whatever it is, this can't be good if you come across it at night on a long dark road in the middle of nowhere. However, there is a very good explanation. This is the brainchild of one of the most popular rock bands on the planet, posted on the official Instagram account of the British band Radiohead. The video that's circulating online lacks the band's music, as the original video contains parts of the band's song called Tinker Tailor Soldier Sailor, Rich Man Poor Man Beggar Man Thief from the 2016 album A Moon-Shaped Pool. Could have fooled us, Radiohead. Fasten your seatbelts, because it's time for today's sweet topic. Let's play the word association game. We'll start. The words are little green men. Chances are good that most people would automatically think of aliens. Most of us have never actually seen a little green man from Mars or from anywhere else. Why should this association pop into the mind first? Because popular culture has drilled it in there. But what if aliens were actually giant, like in this image caught on dashcam? And if you think about it, there are ancient sites around the world that throughout history would have been impossible to build by regular-sized humans, or so they say. Like the Great Pyramids of Egypt or Stonehenge in the United Kingdom. Could the three extraterrestrial giants in this pic be responsible for these epic monuments? Imagine what an army of them could do. Now we can't confirm that these tall, lean beings are actually from outer space, so we ask you, what do you think these beings could be? Or even better, what could they be capable of? Let us know in the comments below and use the hashtag #SweetTopic when you do. Magic box. This could be your package falling out of that truck with no doors on it, then flying right back in twice. But it doesn't make any of us relax. We can't help but wonder, what the heck is happening here? Will this box arrive at its destination? Our guess is no. And chances are good other packages won't make it as well. After the magic styrofoam box footage went viral, the speculation online was rampant. People think it's the slipstream behind the truck that is in the area of the reduced air pressure and forward suction immediately behind a rapidly moving vehicle. In a nutshell, it's a vacuum, and that package is just getting sucked back into the truck. Still, can we get some doors on this thing? Slipstream magic is not and will never be a reliable way to prevent everything in that truck from falling out. But air pressure is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in lieu of the no-door thing. If the package was heavier, it would not behave the same way, and most likely would end up on the freeway. Is this the worst delivery person ever, with the worst delivery truck on the road? We hope these packages are insured. Our fingers are crossed the package arrives undamaged. This video has to be a trigger for anyone who has shopped online. Who knows what happens to our packages as they go through the shipping process? Emergency landing. Pilots take aerobatic training lessons to learn how to better maneuver aircraft in emergency situations, which explains how this pilot's skill helped him pull off the textbook emergency landing on an interstate highway. It's safe to say that when pilot Craig pulled out his single-engine plane for a ride, he hadn't planning on Minnesota's 35 West Freeway for his landing strip. Still, that's exactly where he ended up, and state officials shared the footage of the emergency landing outside St. Paul. Video of the incident shows the plane narrowly dodging two vehicles before sideswiping an SUV as the aircraft skids to a stop. The Minnesota Department of Transportation said it was impressed by the pilot's effort to zipper merge from above. It remains unclear what caused the emergency landing. But luckily, the pilot was better equipped than most to handle the unexpected. His resume is impressive. An Experimental Aircraft Association spokesman told the press that he's a competitive aerobatic pilot who has represented the U.S. in international competitions. And he even has a bronze from the team's flight in the 2017 World Aerobatic Championships in South Africa. No one was hurt when the wheels hit this, runway. Lightning strikes. This Mississippi police officer is thanking his lucky stars after his life almost changed in a flash. Literally. Police Sergeant Mark Rodriguez was driving his cruiser through stormy weather when lightning struck just feet in front of him. Dramatic footage from his patrol car's dash cam shows a flash exploding from the cloud sky, right in front of his car as it drove across a bridge in Jackson County. But it could have been the police car that got zapped. Like trees, houses, and people, anything outside is at risk of being struck by lightning when thunderstorms are in the area, including cars. The good news, though, is that the outer metal shell of hard-topped metal vehicles does provide protection to those inside a vehicle with the windows closed. Unfortunately, though, the vehicle doesn't always fare so well. A typical cloud-to-vehicle lightning strike will either strike the antenna of the vehicle or along the roofline. The lightning will then pass through the vehicle's outer metal shell, then through the tires to the ground. Although every lightning strike is different, damage to the antenna, electrical system, rear windshield, and tires is common. Fortunately, in this scenario, the bridge took the brunt of this lightning strike. Creepy creature crosses the road. At first, you think it's just a fast, large animal crossing the road. When the video first surfaced, explanations ranged from deer, squirrel, fox, cat, dog, wolf, to even kangaroo. However, at a closer look, it's something else altogether. None of these animals appear to fit what this thing is. Highway surveillance video from the United Kingdom captured what appears to be a strange humanoid creature sprinting across a 4-lane highway. At full speed, the video appears to be an animal crossing. Still frames from the video call that theory into question. It appears to have a human head, body, and legs while running on all fours. Proposals that the video was a fake were disproved by paranormal investigators who checked with local authorities who oversee the security cameras in the area. Turns out, this is not faked. Experts say it's genuine footage. Upon closer look at a zoomed-in image, this animal, or whatever it might be, has white tips like a tennis shoe has on. Is this some kind of escaped human hybrid from a remote laboratory? It's been dubbed the Wessex Way Monster and has since become a local legend around that area. Juggling test. Here's a scary stat from the United States. Fatalities for 2020 from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration show that an estimated 38,000 people died in motor vehicle crashes, up 7.2% from 2019. Road stops like this are essential to keep people safe, but these police officers were not expecting this. Blake Puckett, a junior at the University of Central Arkansas, was driving slowly as he left campus one night when an officer pulled him over. Puckett said he was driving slowly because his car had a broken taillight and the officers determined he was sober. But the license plate that read Juggler was the feature on the rear of his car that drew the officer's attention. So the college student used his juggling skills to prove his sobriety after being pulled over. "I'm a magician, but I also juggle," Puckett said after the officer asked what was in his pocket. He then used the opportunity to simultaneously show off his juggling skills and prove that he wasn't driving under the influence. The officer also noted the fun of the experience and said it was the first time he had experienced something like that at a traffic stop. But being a juggler, who happens to also do magic, this might be the best way to endear yourself to the local law. Bear joyride. Good thing this law officer was around to help when a wild animal got itself into a tight spot near Lake Tahoe. The wild animal in question is a bear. This sheriff deputy in California was caught on camera smashing open the window of an SUV to free a bear trapped inside. The bear had reportedly made its way into the car to hunt for food and ended up getting locked inside. Or maybe the bear wanted a joyride. But either way, we're certain the animal was not capable of starting that car. The sheriff posted the video of its dramatic escape online, and it shows the bear got into a Subaru Outback and destroyed the interior so badly that the doors couldn't be unlocked. It was decided the safest way to get the bear out of the car was to break the window. So the officer was brave enough to break the window, allowing the bear to jump out and flee into the forest. And though the bear fortunately managed to escape unharmed, the same cannot be said for the vehicle, the interiors of which were destroyed. You don't want to get in the way of a hungry bear. Dash cam cash grab. Authorities believe an estimated $175,000 wound up flying out on the Atlanta interstate recently, and as you can expect, people went cash crazy. Drivers were filmed grabbing the dough on the side of the road after an armored truck's door flew wide open. The bizarre scene saw dozens of drivers on a motorway in Dunwoody, Atlanta, pulling over and dashing for the cash. There were more than 15 vehicles pulled over. Cash was flowing as money literally rained down on the busy interstate. As for the armored truck, drivers complained that a door on the side of the truck was not working properly, but the mystery was impossible to solve during this scene. Drivers hopped out of their cars quickly and collected the money. Officers and the truck crew gathered a few $100s that was still there when backup arrived, but plenty of the money was gone by then. The video shows dozens of drivers pulling over to the side of the road and dashing for the cash. Even a semi-trailer hauling timber pulled over in the video, shot by an eyewitness. Of course, when all was said and done, police asked the public for the safe return of the money. Of the $175,000 that rained out on this highway, less than $5,000 has been returned. But they do have lots of footage of the dash cam grab, so there's a lot for the police to go on to get that money back. The Chelyabinsk meteor. This fire in the sky was as bright as the sun this particular morning. A space rock plummeted into the skies over the city, traveling at a speed of 12 miles per second, and began to tear apart at an altitude of 28 miles. The Chelyabinsk meteor was a small asteroid that broke up over the city of Chelyabinsk, Russia on February 15th in 2013. But the reality is, the asteroid wasn't that small, about the size of a 6-story building. Some scientists think the meteor was so bright it might have briefly outshone the sun. As for the Big Bang, the blast was stronger than a nuclear explosion, triggering detections from monitoring stations as far away as Antarctica. The rock exploded with the energy of around 500 kilotons of TNT. It was powerful enough to knock people off their feet. Windows were shattered in more than 3,600 apartment blocks, and a factory roof collapsed. They are sometimes called bolides or fireballs, these types of exceptionally bright meteors, spectacular enough to be seen over a very wide area. And in this case, that's an understatement. How would you feel if you saw this streaming across the sky on your morning ride to work? How could you miss it? Desert Dirt Trail Ghost. Believed to have been filmed in a desert outside of the Saudi Arabian city of Tabuk, you just don't expect to come across this while you're driving through the desert at night. But for some reason, these law enforcement officials were sent to investigate some very strange activity in a very remote part of the desert. Whatever they captured on camera scared them to death, and frankly, we're a little freaked out too. There are tales of a very unusual supernatural entity called a jinn. Apparently, these so-called beings are part human, but mostly from another realm. Jinn lore states that their body constitutes 90% spirit and 10% flesh. They resemble humans in many regards, but their strange manner being the only main difference. This dashcam footage is most definitely strange, especially after the white figure moving towards the vehicle just bolts into the darkness in the end. Apparently, it's the jinn's very nature which enables them to change their shape, move quickly, and fly, hence the temptation for humans to make them allies for magical purposes. The Saudi Arabian government created a special anti-witchcraft unit to educate the public about ghosts, apparitions, sorcery, and how to investigate alleged witches and disarm their spells. Is this the proof they need? Do you think this desert ghost is the real deal? Serial splasher. This van driver in the city of Ottawa, Canada's capital, has been sacked, and for good reason. File this under how to ruin someone's day. They were filmed repeatedly splashing pedestrians with their vehicle at every opportunity. But come on, hasn't every driver secretly wished they could drench someone like this in a rainstorm? We might think about it, but we don't do it. The 45-second clip, filmed on a rear-facing dash cam, shows the driver veering into the curb on a rainy day to drench pedestrians at least 3 times. At the very end of the clip, the company's logo is clearly seen on the side of the vehicle. Not this person's best day on the job by a long shot. The contracting company who employed this driver said in a post online that the individual concerned is no longer employed with them after a video of their antisocial behavior went viral. The video, of course, has been viewed millions of times. The company subsequently made an apology for their driver's behavior on its social media. What was this guy's problem? He must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed. So, this will go down as the worst day at work ever. Clowning around. Just when you think you've seen it all, a creepy clown incident leads to the arrest of 2 people on child neglect charges. This is definitely not how you should be clowning around. Police in Menasha, Wisconsin were responding to reports people dressed as clowns were chasing cars in the early hours. This is definitely not your typical night on the force. Officers were dispatched in the early morning hours on a Friday for a report of people wearing clown masks chasing after vehicles. They located 2 men, ages 20 and 29, who were involved in the incident. They also found a 26-year-old woman in a vehicle nearby who had been driving the 2 men around in the neighborhood. What else is there to do in Menasha, Wisconsin on a Friday night? So police released the cruiser camera footage showing officers stopping the clowns on Appleton Road. No charges were brought against the 20-year-old clown, but officers arrested the 29-year-old clown and the woman, their driver, on child neglect charges. They had left their 4-year-old child at home while they pulled this prank. Don't people have better things to do? Couldn't they have practiced their clown routine in the safety of their own home? We think so. Alpaca escape. Major llama drama. 2 llamas on the loose in a Sun City, Arizona retirement community were rocketed to internet infamy after escaping their owner recently. The dynamic duo, one black and one white, dodged cars, avoided lassos, and managed to launch their own Twitter account as they terrorized the town northwest of Phoenix. Okay, terrorized is a strong word because alpacas are adorable, and clearly they're fast too. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office posse members tried to corral the llamas with their SUVs as they moved from a field into a neighborhood near 103rd and Grand Avenues, but were unable to stop them from bolting away. The pair made national news and became social media darlings as they briefly avoided capture from a crowd of curious onlookers and several area residents on live television. Apparently, a rancher brought the animals to an assisted living facility to visit an ex-llama rancher as a form of therapy. He said the animals were spooked when the trailer door that was transporting them to the site opened, and the race was on. Welcome to Arizona's alpacalypse. Fortunately, these animals are generally friendly and are very used to being around humans. Perhaps these llamas just wanted to have a little fun. The runaway animals were eventually caught by 3 onlookers. Mountain maintenance. Going to the Sun Road is a scenic mountain road in the Rocky Mountains of the western United States in Glacier National Park in Montana. This road is the first to have been registered in all of the following categories: National Historic Place, National Historic Landmark, and Historic Civil Engineering Landmark. And it's easy to see why. Can you imagine what it takes to maintain a road like this? The road is one of the most difficult roads in North America to snowplow. Up to 80 feet of snow can lie on top of Logan Pass, and more just east of the pass where the deepest snowfield has long been referred to as the Big Drift. Big is almost an understatement. The road takes about 10 weeks to plow, even with equipment that can move 4,000 tons of snow in an hour. However, the snowplow crew can clear as little as 500 feet of the road per day. Plus, it's not uncommon for plowing crews to need to replow sections of park roads when weather events happen. The safety of the plowing crews, contractors, and the public is of the utmost concern and priority. And of course, these unknown factors make predicting the opening of going to the Sun Road next to impossible. Take your time, folks. We wouldn't want anyone to get caught under that snow. Alien abductions. This is the bizarre moment a police officer appears to be teleported. It shows an officer approach a car and ask the driver inside a few questions. Your typical check stop on a dark night, except not on this night. a bright light suddenly shines bright nearby and the officer, more or less, vanishes. Rewind, he approached the vehicle to get the driver's license and registration, and according to the driver, as he reached over to grab the documentation, he noticed a bright light in the distance. Then suddenly, the officer seemed to simply vanish, and it's all caught on dash cam. The freaked out driver called authorities from his cell phone. But until this video surfaced, the story from the driver was too unbelievable. Authorities just couldn't comprehend it till they took a look at this. Some conspiracy theorists claim that this video could be the smoking gun they're looking for to prove alien abductions are happening all the time. However, after the video was posted, viewers shared their doubts, but that does not take away from this chilling footage. Is it fake? It's very, very effective. This driver should consider themselves lucky. Don't dash away quite yet. You know we've got so much more for you to enjoy. And before you binge watch the next video, make sure you like and subscribe down below. Make sure you share this with all your friends. Till next time.